because I get a lot of them.
Today on Laser Update, we meet creative writing professor and quip master Christian Heisler.
Afterwards, we'll take a look at the transfer fair that took place recently here at OCC coming up next.
Hello, and welcome to Laser Update for Tuesday, April 2nd. I'm Noah McCarthy.
And I'm Imani Udell. Noah, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I got out of work early to go see my aunt at her Easter party, and we had some great food. I got to see my baby cousin. It was a good time. How was yours?
Mine was pretty great. Got a lot of food and just to hang out with family, so it was overall pretty great.
Sounds awesome.
Today, we have an education-focused episode of the show.
We're looking at beloved professors, transfer fairs, and a lesson about the history of gaming.
Professor Christian Heisler's classes filled up at registration, but why is that the case? Our reporter Rebecca Porten tells us why and what's up.
Professor Christian Heisler is known at OCC for his laid-back style of teaching, relaxed and quipping about anything. However, it took a long time to develop that style of teaching.
When I made the transition from high school to college, there was a kind of built-in, I could be more laid back because, you know, people are paying to be here and they're mostly adults and they can make choices. Just over the years, it's kind of progressively gotten more laid back. It was strict and, you know, demanding and angry and that kind of teacher. I don't really feel like that would help our students. I think it would kind of push them away and drive them out of classes.
His style informs his way of thinking as he imparts wisdom to future students.
Two things I always stress to my students, because I get a lot of them first semester they're here because of the class I teach, is show up for class as much as you can, because that's really what's going to benefit you. And try to communicate as much as you can with your professors.
Professor Heisler is always willing to help out students at office hours in M310V.
Professor Heisler's got a lot of chops as a teacher. He's got snacks in his office if you stop by. Freshman comp, exploring biology, and some people question if we really need these classes. As their general education classes are not related to our majors, our Rebecca Porten took to pulse of the campus to find out what people really think.
General education classes, unneeded filler, or necessary life lessons. Here's what the students and teachers of OCC have to say.
Gen Ed classes in college they're a pain. They're a pain to do. And I understand why they want them to do it, but it's also, a lot of it is stupid.
I think some general education is a really good thing. Not that I'm going to toot my own horn for writing or whatever, but that's a skill employers want, that students are going to need. And so being able to understand how to do that or to practice that, to get better at that, that's really valuable.
I think that they basically have a different standard than other campuses. I think that they're interesting to actually go to, but until they're actually ironed out, they're still going to basically be something that's questionable to say the least.
It seems the jury's still out on this one. What are your thoughts? This is Rebecca Porten for Laser Update.
Professors seem to like the courses, while students think they're not needed. The verdict is still out on this one.
General education classes, what a bore. After the break, we're going to take a look at another beloved professor and take a look at the OCC Transfer Fair. But first, take a look at this. The OCC Open House is on April 6th. Upcoming students can look at their programs and financial aid. You can even apply for the BMC program, where you'll eventually end up producing a show just like this.
Because I'm living on campus, I have easier time getting to my classes because it's literally right down the road. Each lounge has a full kitchen that you can use to cook your meals whenever you would like. All the dorms on OCC have a quiet hours, usually ranging from 10 p.m. to 9 a.m. If you really want to enjoy the first 2 years of college and meet good people, come to OCC. I think I've made some lifelong friends here.
What made me want to come into OCC is to see how the automotive program is, and it's a good affordable option. The entire campus, honestly, it's not what I expected. I haven't had any problems yet, but if I were to, depending on what the problem is, I'll go to the Student Help Center, or if it's a problem with my work, I'll go to a professor or the student help area. During my free time on OCC, I'll go find friends around campus, or I'll go catch up on my work in the library.
Why did I choose OCC? To be a better communicator.
To be an English teacher. To be a better environmental scientist. Why will you choose OCC?
Why will you choose OCC?
Welcome back. On the music calendar for today, the OCC Wind Ensemble is playing on April 4th at 7:30 p.m. Hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Laser Update. It's been a very education focused. We continue as one of the professors guided students through an ASL program.
And graduation's coming up. Have you thought about transferring? We continue with another close look at a professor whose journey is an interesting one, taking her from the BMC program to teaching ASL. Lou Kaminsky has a story.
Professor Kelly Kaminsky has taught American Sign Language at OCC for 7 years now. But her first experience at OCC was not as a teacher and not even in ASL.
I went to OCC when I was 18 years old in 1989. I went to OCC because I really loved radio and television, and my dream back then was to be a DJ, which I laugh about now, but I wanted to do something on the radio. My experience in the radio and television program was very positive. I was a nervous freshman, and it really got me out of my shell to be able to have to speak on camera and to do things on the radio. I did take American Sign Language, though, while I was here at OCC. Because I was always interested in American Sign Language, all of my college experience after OCC led to me becoming a teacher. Now I have the opportunity to help students who are coming in. I like to help students know that they don't have to know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their lives right at this moment. I started in the radio television program, and now I'm teaching American Sign Language. So it's my opportunity now to kind of help students and steer them onto their own career paths.
Professor Kaminsky continues to guide students through their classes and help them discover their other passions. For a Laser Update, I'm Lou Kaminsky.
Professor Kelly Kaminsky is always willing to help students at office hours. The OCC Transfer Fair is all about the future of your education and what college you're going to next. But what's its true deal? Liam White has a story.
While some students choose to go into the workforce, others want to continue their education after OCC. Earlier this semester, OCC held a transfer fair to help them transition to a four-year school.
My name is Dana Acey, and I'm the Director of Career and Transfer Services. So this event happens once a semester. We bring over 40 colleges to campus to talk to students. Most of them are from the local area or all over New York State, and we even have some colleges from out of state like Johnson C. Smith from North Carolina. So we want to connect students to institutions for them to transfer.
I'm looking at schools that offer Japanese studies as a major, which are only two SUNY schools, Binghamton and Albany. I do know that the schools that offer them, they know that a lot of students who take Japanese studies as a major tend to double major as well, so I'm going to ask them about that too.
The transfer fair was very informative for students that wanted to continue their education. For Laser Update, I'm Liam White.
If you need help choosing your next step in life, visit your school's office and talk to the career specialist.
Well, that was fair share a blast. Next up on Laser Update, a little look into history of gaming. Coming up on Did You Know segment, it's a video game crash of 1983.
Today on Seen It, Kung Fu Panda 4 jump-kicked into theaters on March 8th and is still running strong. All those unanswered questions from Kung Fu Panda 1 through 3 will be answered. It'll be showing at 12:20 p.m., 12:45 p.m., 5:15 p.m., and 7:45 p.m. The martial arts movie is playing this week at Regal Destiny USA.
My major is mechanical engineering technology. Essentially, it's mostly just using like computer assisted programs and machine tools, heavy machinery. OCC for me, I think it's like a more tight-knit community. So it feels like you're communicating with people who want to be here, and they also are very like kind and courteous. So it's a nice space to be in.
Visit sunyocc.edu to learn what OCC could mean for you.
My favorite part of OCC is that probably everyone here treats everyone with respect. I feel like every time I talk to someone or interact with someone, that normally they treat you with a level of respect because you're going to college and because you have the interest of learning. They give out free counseling, they give out like a lot of events. Like you're not really bored on campus because you have clubs, you have events that you can normally do. The library is free. You can, like if you want to do a box of books, you can go to the library and grab a book. Most of the classes allow that.
I found that by going to OCC, it allowed me to enter in programs that would allow me to focus on like my personal life and my work. I think most professors here do want to see you succeed. All faculty here is definitely like more than happy to help, you know, with any scheduling or future planning or, you know, in regards to grades or anything like that. Like I find most professors are more than willing. I could realistically recommend anyone to attend.
We've got a brand new segment for Laser Update, Professor of the Day. Today, we appreciate Mark Ballard. Ballard teaches advanced TV studio production and is known for his many catchphrases. Remember, logic dictates everything.
Welcome back to Laser Update. I'm Noah McCarthy.
And I'm Imani Udo.
We've covered Christian Heisler's passion for teaching and Kelly Kaminsky's love of the profession.
Now, continuing on. Video games are considered a fun and leisure activity by many, but there's a timeline out there where it never became what a sensation it is today. And that is all due to the great video game crash of 1983. Our producer, Rebecca Porten, has more.
Today, video games are commonplace, including games on your phone. In the early 80s, not the same case. They had phones heavy enough to kill a man, and video game consoles looked like this. They used cartridges to play games, and they didn't even work half the time. The video game industry was in a boom, and at the head of it all was Atari, with their wildly successful VCS system, later renamed the 2600. In 1977, the console was a huge success, with games such as Space Invaders, Yar's Revenge, and Adventure. It brought home video games to the public eye. Keep in mind, this was the 70s. If you wanted video games, you had to go to an arcade. Now, they were in your home. However, things wouldn't stay peachy for long. That all started with the creation of Activision, who merged with Blizzard in 2008. You see, back then, Atari didn't think it was that worth it to credit the creators of the games themselves. Some developers didn't quite like that policy. They left together and formed Activision. Now, they developed games on their own for the Atari 2600. One notable example is Pitfall. Because nobody had ever done this before, they were sued by Atari. Activision won the case, however, and third-party studios were born. Nowadays, third parties are essential for releasing the amount of games needed to sustain a console. But here's the thing. Atari had something we didn't back then. Quality control. Activision was the first third-party studio, and it was not the last. Soon, dozens of companies were churning out games for a cheap buck, combined with competing consoles such as the Intellivision, ColecoVision, and the Odyssey 2. The market became oversaturated. So what did Atari do? Well, in March of 1982, they released their long-awaited port of Pac-Man. How'd it do? It was considered extremely subpar. And for the 1982 holiday season, they released E.T. the Extraterrestrial. How did it do? It's widely considered one of the worst games ever made. The game was considered a huge failure and was buried in a New Mexico landfill. Not joking on that last part, the game was returned so many times and Atari had so many unsold copies that they had to dump hundreds of copies in the desert. All that, combined with the lowering cost of home computers, eventually led to the market completely crashing in 1983. Video games was considered a dead market for a long time until a small Japanese company named Nintendo came along and released a Nintendo Entertainment System and caused the video game market to essentially be revived. They set out to not repeat Atari's mistakes with extremely tight regulations on third-party studios and their lockout chip, meaning unlicensed games could not be played. And so the video game market was essentially brought back to life. Now you know about the video game crash of 1983.
Wow, that's crazy how history affects us even to this day. Pay attention in your history classes.
Well, thank you for watching Laser Update. We covered a variety of topics, from professors to the 80s video game crash.
We hope you've enjoyed our show. For more laser updates, tune in Tuesdays and Thursdays. Same laser time, same laser channel.
Jokes aside, you can watch Laser Updates on Onondaga Campus Connections YouTube channel.